key signatures. Let's start off and we're going to talk about the musical alphabet. And we know that we have some sharps between some of the notes and some of the notes don't have sharps. So B and C there is no sharp, and E and F there is no sharp. So other than that, we work our way through the musical alphabet. A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Now think of this like string 5 on the guitar, and if we look at the notes on the guitar, you can see there are the notes there. A open, fret 2 is B, fret 3 is C, D, E, F. Now those notes, those frets without notes are where the sharps are. So this is what we're going back to over here. We've got A sharp, B, C. Think of it like a staircase or a ladder. So first of all, we're going to talk about the major scale and how we make that. And we'll just remind you that you begin on a root note, and then you move a whole step, which is 2 frets, and then another whole step, which is 2 frets, and then a half step, and that's only 1 fret, and then whole, half. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the key of C major, but the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is always write out the alphabet of the scale. So for example, we're going to start on the C, and we're writing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And the reason for this is that this is so we include the correct sharps or flats. It'll be one or the other, it won't be both. So now that we've established that those are the alphabetical notes, we start on the C note and we move a whole step to D, we move a whole step to E, and then we move a half step to F. So there's no sharps and no flats. Then we move a whole step to G, a whole step to A, another whole step to B, and we're back on C. That's the key of C major. Now we talk about the circle of fifths, and what this means is when you begin in the key of C, if you move up a fifth, in other words the fifth note of that scale, which is G, that has one more sharp added to it. And if you move up to the fifth of that key, there's another sharp added, and each time you go up to note number 5 in the key, you add a sharp. So let's talk you through this. We're starting on C. In that key, there are no sharps, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to start on the G. We're going to write out the alphabet. G, then we start on A again, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Then we come up to the musical alphabet here. Root note, whole, half, whole. We've got an F sharp or a G flat, and then a half back to G. The reason why this is going to be called F sharp and not G flat is because it simply has to be alphabetical. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So had we called it G sharp, we would have had E, G sharp, G. So it has to make alphabetical sense. And the reason for that, if we started on a G note, we'd have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the notes have to just move one by one, and they have to be in alphabetical order as you move. This is the key of G, and there's an F sharp on that note there. The key signature there, which is F sharp, it tells us that that note on the same line is the F sharp. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So going back to where we were, let's move up to note number 5 of G. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be the key of D major. And we're going to go back to our circle of fifths and just check it out. There's going to be 2 sharps in that key. So we'll come back and we'll just have an investigate. Write the alphabet out, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Go up to musical alphabet, D, whole step E, whole step F sharp. So we went from D, whole, now we're going half to G, now whole, another whole, and then we go whole to C sharp and back to D. And it's because it has to be alphabetical again. So D, whole, half, and then whole, half. Where are we? So D, whole, half, whole, half. So we've landed with 2 sharps in that key. So there's 1 sharp in the key of G. There's 2 sharps in the key of D. Now our next key, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Note number 5 is the A. This is going to be the key of A major. We're going to check our circle of fifths. Yes, A is the next one in the circle of fifths. We're going to write out the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And go back to the A. This is called an octave because there are 8 notes, and that becomes significant when you start talking about other kinds of scales. 5, 6, 7, 8. The whole foundation of music is made from the major scale. So if we had a scale with a flat 3, or let's say a flat 2, that note would become B flat. If it had a flat 7, that would become G flat. So the major scale is boss. So we know that there's going to be some sharps in here. Let's begin on the musical alphabet on the A. We're going to move whole, half. So we had a sharp there. That was C sharp. We'll start again. A, whole, half, whole, half. So we have to put in the F sharp and we have to put in the G sharp, and there we've got the key of A major, 3 sharps. Let's check our circle of fifths. There we go. Now another way of thinking about this is the notes on the guitar neck. If we start on the C note, there's no sharps in that key. So let's just write that down and remind us. C major, no sharps. Let's look at it like a power chord. This is called a perfect fifth or a fifth. When we go up a fifth, the key of G has got 1 sharp. Then if we go up a fifth from G, we land on D. D major has got 2 sharps. Now we've run out of room here, so let's go down, right down to G. We had 1 sharp in G. Go up a fifth, D's got 2. If you go up on the guitar another fifth, you land on A. A major has got 3 sharps. And go up another fifth, E major has got 4 sharps. Now the way we tune our guitar, the second string is tuned 1 fret lower, so we can't carry on that little method. So we went from G to D to A to E. Now let's find the E on the large, it's number 6 string. Going to move up a fifth. The key of E had 4, so the key of B major has got 5 sharps. And last of all, we're going to do 2 more. We're going to go up to upper fifth in between F and G, we have F sharp. So we've gone from B up a fifth, and the key of F sharp major is going to have 6 sharps. Not a very pleasant key. Most guitar players aren't going to play in that key. And then the unusable key of C sharp major with 7 sharps. You're just not going to use that. C sharp major, 7 sharps. You'll notice that all those keys had sharps in them. So now we're going to talk about flats. We're going to begin on the F note here. And we're going to do it 2 ways. We're going to do it on the guitar neck, and then we're going to do it on the musical alphabet. So the key of F major, remembering our first step is to write out the musical alphabet. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So we're starting on the F and remembering the major scale formula. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we start on the F and we move whole to G, whole to A, half to here. Now because we've had A, we call that B flat. And we put in the little flat there. So we've got F, whole, whole, half is B flat, and then whole, 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 and 1 semitone or 1 fret away would be F. So there is our key. We're going to come back to the musical alphabet over here, and we're just going to check our working. So starting on the F, this is called the root note. We're going to go whole to G, whole to A, half step now. Because we've had A, we call it B flat. And then we've got to go whole, 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 half. This is why the key of F major has got a flat in it. So starting on the F, I'm just going to change the key signature here. And I'm going to put a flat in there. That's now the key of F major. So if I just write that there like that. The other way that could be written is if we had the F, F, G, A, and you could manually put the B flat in there. But the reason why we have a key signature is so musicians can just read the notes and not have to worry about having flats all through the bar. And for classical guitarists, piano players, brass players, that's their job. They read music all the time. But for us guitar players, we tend to not worry about that so much. So I hope that helps you with figuring out notes and keys and why it's like it is. Let's just do 2 more to finish up. We'll do the key of E and we'll do the key of B. So the key of E major. We write out the alphabet, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. We start on the E, whole, whole, half. So we had F sharp and we had G sharp. So I'll do that again, whole, whole, half. Now we're going whole, 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 half. So there's C sharp and there's D sharp. And you can see progressively we've gone through the keys and we're adding a sharp each time we move up a fifth. So the key of A, note number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was E. So we started on E. That key had 3 sharps. So now this one has got 4. So whatever the next key is going to be, there's going to be 5 sharps, whatever it is. Let's count up to note number 5 and see what it is. E, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be B major. B major. write the alphabet first. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And let's bring this right up the top here so we can see it. Starting on B, whole step C sharp, whole step D sharp. So we're going to put those in there like that. So B, whole, half. There's our E. Now we've got, remember we've got 3 whole steps to do. Whole, past the A, another whole. So F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then back to B. And looking at our circle of fifths, that's what the key of B looks like with its 5 sharps. If you went up another fifth, you wind up in the key of F sharp major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sharps. You're not going to play in that key a whole lot. So that should hopefully get you started. Have some questions and tell me what you reckon.